In pirate folklore, mermaids were considered dangerous creatures. Our next story, though, is about a nice mermaid who also happens to be a savvy entrepreneur and a very talented artist.
Aloha, I'm Mermaid Kariel and I am a professional mermaid. I grew up in Oregon, and when I was 3 years old, I saw The Little Mermaid for the first time and became obsessed. And then Halloween rolled around, and my grandma and my mother, "Well, what would you like to be for Halloween?" "You mean I can be anything? I can be a mermaid?" So we started sewing together. My grandma was a seamstress, my mom's pretty good as well, and they taught me how to sew, and every year from Halloween, from then on, I was a mermaid, and we'd make a new costume. And then in 2009, I got the chance to move to Hawaii. I moved here with nothing, but knew the water is warm, the air is warm, it's beautiful, I have to be a mermaid here. So it started as just using scraps of old wetsuits and sewing them together. I just used what I could that was in my backyard. And I'd sew up old pieces of wetsuits, and then I'd hand paint scales on them. After 400 hours, my first mermaid tail. And I actually have a video on YouTube of getting in the water for the first time in that tail, and it's just magical. The feeling I had was beautiful, and I knew that that's what I had to do here in Hawaii for income, for a living. And I had to do something with it to share that wonderful feeling with everyone else. Learning to swim in a mermaid tail is a challenge because your legs are bound together, so are your feet, and you're actually in a fin, a finis monofin, which is a fin that's one solid. Your legs are not allowed, to move back and forth like normal. So it's this whole new body movement, and it so happens it's a great workout. It burns 700 calories an hour, and now that's why I teach a fitness class to do it. My first job was at the J.W. Iolani Resort and Spa. It all started with a photo shoot. He hired photographer Alicia Franco, who I work with all the time now, who's wonderful. And we did our first photo shoot, and it all just seemed so magical that it was really happening, and I was getting paid to do it. Since then, I've branched out, and I've started and created my own show at the Marriott's Coalita Beach Club for their guests there. And I read my children's book to them, and I teach kids self-esteem, and then we go on a make-believe water adventure that helps with ocean conservation. And then from there, I got to start doing my show at Sheraton Waikiki, and I always do birthday parties, and of course I have my fitness class, and I've had the chance to work with some professional athletes. I'm sponsored by Finis now as an athlete. And I've gotten to work with people like Wyland and help him with ocean conservation. I've worked for the aquarium. The list just really goes on, and it all just starts with one vision, a dream, just like any business. I was doing some promotional work for surf contests on the North Shore, and Randy Rorick was nice enough to introduce me to Wyland. And when I met Wyland, it kind of stunned me. I was like, wait, Wyland? Wyland? My hero Wyland? And I freaked out on him and hugged him. Probably was not appropriate. And he's like, oh yeah, you're the mermaid girl. But it just so happens Wyland's really into mermaids. So we've became friends since then. We've got to do a lot of fun projects for ocean conservation. And he even asked me to make a tail with him. So of course I was so honored. It's still one of the highlights of my career. Really, Wyland wanted to paint on one of my paintings. Wow. So I constructed a mermaid tail just for Wyland and hand painted it, and then he did some work as well on it, some dolphins, and we signed it together. And I'm gonna raffle it off to promote my book, my children's book in self-esteem. Well, one of the reasons I love working with kids is because I am a mother. I have a 2-year-old, and I love reading to her. And before, I've always been drawing, and before I actually decided to be a mermaid for a living, I started this children's book. And it's about mermaids, and it's about self-esteem and following your dreams. It's amazing to read my story and see the difference in a kid's attitude about self-esteem or anti-bullying. And I'm really, really excited for this book to finally be available to make a difference. The name of this book is The Brave Mermaid, and they can buy it on my website, www.mermaidkariel.com, or they can buy it off Amazon. I'm launching Mermaid Camp for Christmas. It's 1 day, 5 hours. Kids can come, they're gonna design their own mermaid tails, and we're gonna make their own mermaid tails on the spot. They're gonna get to swim in a pool, and we're gonna have crafts and arts and worksheets to help develop their self-esteem. I'm really excited about this, so if you want to be a part of Mermaid Camp, go to my website. Not only do I do performances and have other mermaids now working for me doing parties and events, but I also launched a product line. I have an array of products. I have my own skincare line now. It's all mermaid theme. Mermaid tails for kids that are really reasonable priced. Sea crowns, hair accessories, all mermaid themed products. And where I see going with this in the future is really making a global impact on self-esteem. I've branched out, and it's not just me now. Now I actually have other women that I hire to wear my mermaid tails for events and parties. I have 4 right now, but I am looking for 10. So if you want to be a mermaid, go to my website and send me your resume. One of the most valuable things that I've learned as a business owner is it's a lot of late nights, long weeks of working, and don't believe what anybody else says. Go with your instincts, believe in yourself, and just keep trying when you hear no.